Good evening, good evening. It's like 10 p.m. and I came outside to just talk about something that I feel is really important. Change and understanding who you are as a person. So, we are all going to change who we are like throughout life. It's impossible to stay the same. It's not something that I think people want to do. I think that we're used to familiarity, but I think that people really want to change and to transform into more of who they are. And with this life, you're born into this life maybe as a baby, and then you grow into like an adult, and you should want to grow. You should want to change. There is a part of us that I think and I know resists the metamorphosis of life because what is familiar can become so familiar that it can become so scary to transition into another part of life. Um, and it's not always scary. I won't even say that. It's just that we as humans like consistency. So when you are going into another part of your life, you are, excuse me, I'm yawning. It's kind of late. It's late for me. I have to get up in the morning to go kayaking. I'm going kayaking, and I have to be up at like 5 a.m. Um, but we as humans love to have the same thing over and over again. Um, but if you want something different, you have to become something different. You know, we are what we attract. We are what we keep around. We continue to be. You know, if we stay in a stagnant energy, you're going to continue to have the same energy around you. So if you want something like a new job, a new relationship, a new mindset, a new something new physically in your appearance, then you have to really put an effort to change and to transform that energy that you've had for a long time. And I'm so excited for the transitions that I'm making in my life. I'm so excited that I have declared to the universe what I really want. And it took a lot of me addressing my subconscious thoughts to get to where I am now. But I think once you do it, once you really are intentional about what you want, and once you understand like what you want doesn't have to look like other people's desires. You don't have to do life the same way as another person does. Your relationships don't have to look the same way as another person. Your job doesn't have to look the same way as another person, you know? But you have to put out there what you want it to look like. You know, you have to change your outlook. You have to change the viewpoint that you've had of maybe feeling judged by others or being in a space where you judge yourself. Change, transition, you know, it's okay to not be the same person you were yesterday. Or it's okay to like just upgrade the person you are now, you know, and to just get rid of all the negative stuff that has kept you bound. Change is not always bad, it can be very good. Um, I become a very peaceful person. I don't know who it was. I'm trying to think. I was on the phone with someone and they were like, "Are you high?" And I was like, "No, I'm just happy off life now." I'm trying. I'm trying to think of when that was. Cause that was a few weeks after I lost my job. But I've just become a much more positive person. And if I want to do things like drink a little bit every once in a while or smoke weed, like to calm myself, I can do those things. I don't have to be in like a space where I'm feeling judged by other people because a lot of people, when you're changing, are so used to you being a certain way that they don't want you to go to another space or they want you to change and become just like them. You know? You have to figure out what you want to become and like how you want to change. Um, I just value right now my peace of mind. Like, I don't want anything in my life that takes away from my peace of mind and my goals. And unfortunately, actually, I've had to like separate myself from situations that just don't serve me anymore. It's not like you judge the other person or you judge the scenario. You just don't I just don't put myself in vibrations that don't are not in alignment with like what I want for myself. You know? I want peace of mind. There are other things that I desire, so I have to put myself in those places, you know, change my spaces, change my perspective, change like the way I've been doing things. Like now I'm working out all the time and not accepting any jobs that I don't want, and like focusing on business and like being more intentional about my relationships and being more intentional about the ways that I have sex. And um it's been very great. But you have to like get rid of the attachment that you had to like your old self, you know, because we keep getting so attached to like things of this life, things in the 3D world, because we're in a spiritual realm. Like there's a spiritual realm besides this world that we have here, but it's just we don't tap into it enough. And so we get so attached to everything here, to our titles, to like the things that we've done, to the people that we are with. Like, you know, everything is going to eventually disappear. You can have a great relationship, that relationship could separate. You could have um, you know, your parents, they could be gone. Like you could have children, something could happen to them. Like I've seen this happen in my life. And it's not like you don't mourn those things, but you have to be open to the fact that things are going to change. And that's why a lot of people in the mourning process, the mourning, not mourning MO, but MOU, are like have a really hard time going to the next part of life because they have to change their mindset. So be open to like changing the person that you have been for a long time to become the person, mosquito, to become the person that you're going to be, you know. Change is not always bad. Change can be very good. And if you're in communities that you don't feel you can be yourself, the person that you're transforming into, like it's time for you to change your communities. Like I've realized over the last probably like 3 months that I just don't relate to some people in my life like I used to. I just, when I see people and all they can do is like talk about chaos and like not focus on gratitude. And of course, like I talk about my problems too, but I really try to be happy. Like I try to talk about it once and that's it, you know, and it's something that I'm working on, and people that are really close to me I can open up with. But sometimes when I see people and they haven't asked my consent for them to talk about their issues, like I don't even like talk to them about my stuff because I just don't want to have that negative energy in my life. That's something I've really shifted into. I'll post a video on energy like soon, but change is really important. I love change. I mean, it's like the reason why I love fall, because the seasons change and like it's beautiful. Like the leaves in fall are so beautiful. So don't be afraid of change. Embrace it and change for the better. Like if you're afraid of change, it's probably because you're not aware that the next part of your life could be more positive than the past, or because you're just not changing for the better. So choose to change for the better. Okay, I'm going to bed because I'll be up in like 7 hours a night. Because I exercise so much now, I get tired by a certain time. So I gotta go to sleep. Good night. Change into your bedclothes, people.